Okay, well, that looks like I am back, and let's just confirm I am in fact streaming again. And I even got a really dodgy light to try and brighten it up a bit so you can actually see my stupid face. That's a thing that appeals to you. So, desperately need a microphone. I have one somewhere, just got to find it. I've actually got a really nice one. Bought for my wife. Now we just need to see it. Alright. Lighting. Ooh, creepy lighting. That's fantastic. Alright. JavaScripting. This is where we're up to. Actually, let's start this just quietly again. Oh, okay. It's very slow at the moment. So, okay. Okie dokie do. The Nodeschool, just quickly, briefly showing where we're up to. Wow, okay, this is really slow, but we'll get there in the end. Nodeschool, nodeschool.io, they have a whole bunch of tutorials, and one of the tutorials that I thought we'd just go through and have a look at first up is just the basics of JavaScript, the JavaScripting, no previous programming experience required. Ironically, from the command line in Nodeschool. So, you know, a little bit advanced, I think, considering no experience is a little bit of a jump to get to installing and running this. But let's say you're doing it with a friend or you're at one of the Nodeschool events. That sounds like a wonderful thing to do. So, the exercise that we're going to try and do, exercise 3 of 19. Oh, okay. Takes a second for the streaming to kind of chill out because my monitor's so ridiculously big, I think. 3440 by 1440 and a MacBook Pro 15-inch 2012 version, so it's not super happy. So what are we doing? A string is a sequence of characters, etc. We went through that. We're going to make a file name called strings, which we have. In that file, create a variable named SumString. So var SumString equals this is a string. Use console.log to print the variable SumString to the terminal. Okay, isn't this what we just did last time? Let's find out. So we can go, basically, either we can just jump over to here and go JavaScripting, verify string, no, where are we? This is evil slow at the moment. I need to do something about that because this is unbearable. Still waiting. Should have been instantaneous. Change JavaScripting, and then we can once it's there, change to 2017, and let's just list cat strings. Strings.js. Okay, so then if we verify strings, how does it feel about that? I should fire up activity monitor and see if there's anything I can close down because this is like working on Pentium 3. Success. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's exactly the same thing as the first one. So yeah, I haven't done this for a very long time. I don't remember it being quite so bare bones in terms of the Nodeschool workshops, workshoppers, depending on which one you're doing. Alright, so we've done all those, and now string length. So we're getting into something a little bit more interesting. Okay. Create a file name string-length.js. How many characters are in a string? So let's just write this, and then we'll via string length.js. Wow. Okay. Just kind of actively want to see if we can close anything else down. Let's taken it all up. It's going to be OBS 400%. That's not bad considering there's 4 CPUs, 4 cores I should say. Windows Server, Twitch TV, still running over there. Maybe I can get rid of that. Get rid of that. Window Manager, and let's see, does that give us any extra magic? 700. Okay. Well, let's see if we can ignore it for now. Via stringlength.js. Okay. Go between example and length. Characters, yada yada yada. Okay, so sometimes it helps if you just want to go by example string and do a test first, and then we can go example.length 14. Okay, so that seems about right. Example has 7, string has 6, and there's a space in the middle, and that gives us a total of 14. And of course, you can always look up the reference for a JavaScript string object to see what method they have, because the length method, I know what we should do. Now, this is kind of cheating, and it's probably not going to be super useful to everyone else, but if we just go string length, is it going to be a node thing, or is it just going to be a straight up JavaScript thing, JavaScript core? JavaScript string length. So what I'm doing, I'm just searching for, see if this is under buffers. I'm just wondering if there's string objects. We can see all the methods available for string objects. That's probably going to be on MSDN, Microsoft Developer, is it? Mozilla Developer Network, MSDN. No, that's Microsoft. It's Microsoft Mozilla JavaScript. I'm sure that's a thing. This shows you how long it's been since I've done any JavaScripty stuff. MDN, Mozilla Developer Network, yeah? Yeah, there we go. String methods. String. So if we go here and then could do a quick, what are we doing? Length. String.prototype.length, string instances methods. Properties, reflects the length of the string, and then unrelated HTML, then you can, a whole bunch of other super useful ones. String.length, basic usage, yada yada yada. So this is a good way to learn about not just Node but JavaScript stuff, is to actually look at the documentation for each of the new things you learn. So let's just put a pin in that for a second and say, okay, cool, we now feel confident that we can create a variable and assign it Javascripting 04 of 19, and then we're going to do what it says. Here we go, the challenge. So sometimes the examples can confuse you a little bit if you don't read them very clearly. Again, the file names sometimes are important to make sure you get it correct, because it will test that. Not always, but some of them will. It's a bit weird. Alright, so var example equals, assign the string example string. Example string to the variable. Okay, done that. And then console.log example. what? Hang on a second. What's going on here? String length, 4 of 19. Okay, cool. Copy example. Assign the string example string to variable example. Use console.log to print the length of the string. There we go. So if we just go example.length, now we should get the answer we're looking for. And Javascripting scripting verify string length. And this is where it tests it for us, and win 14 characters. Here's the official solution. But see, this is a bit weird. This one needs some love. So maybe in a future stream we can go through and actually try and improve the JavaScripting workshop, because it doesn't actually show the official solution. Maybe there isn't one, but we can look at that later on. For now, let's just go through and learn the stuff that we want to learn, and we'll work our way up to that. Wow, this is really slow. Might need to do something about that. Alright, so it's going to get out of JavaScripting. Okay. So, revising strings. Excellent. So we're doing some more string work. Seem to be big on the strings. We have examples. Exercise 5 of 19. Change the contents of a string. Strings are built-in functionality to inspect and manipulate their contents. The replace method. Well, this looks like fun. Var example. This example exists. Example.replace exists with is awesome, which then should give us this example is awesome. Note to change the value of the example variable references. We need to use the equals sign again, this time with the example.replace. So yes, we're going to have example actually equaling example.replace. That's fine, we're just writing over that variable. And the challenge. Here we go, revising strings.js. So we go vi revising strings.js. And that was exercise 5 of 19. Wow. 5 of 19. Alright. And what do they want us to do? Find a variable named pizza. Var pizza equals pizza is alright. I think we all know where this is going. Use the replace method to change alright to wonderful. Well, there you go. Now we don't because we've defined pizza and assigned it as the string to it. We don't need to var pizza again. We just need to be all like, pizza, you're gonna change. Pizza is gonna get replace, and we're gonna replace alright with wonderful. And console.log results of the replace method, which is going to be pizza. Let's write that, and let's Javascripting verify pizza for revised strings. Okay. So again, it tells us that yes, pizza is wonderful. All right. Again, no official solution, so that's a bit weird. But you can always go back to your node terminal at this point and go var pizza equals pizza is alright, and then you can just go, okay, what's pizza? You can see that it's a string. Pizza equals pizza dot replace, and then alright. One of the other things you could do, you could replace other parts of the variable. You could in fact try and go Bob, replace Bob with stuff, and see what happens. Nothing, because there is no Bob. So if we want to do that again, up arrow, and then go, what about if we replace pizza with stuff? Now we get stuff is alright, and if we just print out pizza, you'll see that it's changed permanently, and console.log, which is effectively what we've done just by showing the variable, stuff is alright. Okay, so we learned things, but we didn't get the suggested solution. So that's actually slightly annoying because you learn quite a lot by seeing the other ways that you can do it. At this stage, obviously, we're just console.logging and replacing a few bits of text, but as it goes along, there's a lot more ways to complete a puzzle, and it's always good to see an optimized version. All right, numbers, exercise 6 of 19. So that looks like we've got all of our instructions on one page. Fantastic. So let's get out of here for a second. Right, quit. Quit. Okay. Super slow. Screen didn't take up this much of my processor before, so you might have to look at what else can be done there. Alright, numbers can be integers like 214 or 4,353, or they can be decimals, also known as floats, depending on the level of precision that you need. And like strings, numbers do not need to have quotes, otherwise there'd be strings. Create a file named numbers. Okay, numbers.js. And then what? In that file, define a variable named example. The old famous example variable. Javascripting. Wow. Come on, file. You're killing me here. You're killing me. Alright, 06 of 19. And var example equal references the integer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Use console.log to print that number to the terminal. Really? That's it? Console.log. I'm not sure how very beginner JavaScripty this really is. Because we all know. Scripting, verify, whatever it was. What was it called? Numbers. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay. Exercise 6 of 19. Yeah, numbers. Alright, we defined a variable and then we printed it. Not sure this is the most fun I've had as a learning brand new JavaScript person, but whatever. JavaScripting. Let's see what else it's got there. It definitely needs some love. It's not as good as it could be. Rounding numbers. Okay. Well, there's a lot more text on this one. Let's find out. Rounding numbers. Ooh, we can use a math object. Are we going to require it, or is that the basic? Alright, that'll be built in. Fantastic. Alright, we have basic math using familiar operators. Okay, math object to round numbers. A challenge, create a file named rounding numbers by rounding-numbers.js. Define a variable now named roundup. Oh, hang on. JavaScripting 7 of 19. And var roundup. Is that right? Roundup that references the float. What am I doing? Reading out loud and typing. Hilarious. Roundup equals float 1.5. Right, so just by putting in that decimal point, we have actually made that a float. And you can test this by going down here and going var roundup equals 1.5. Type of roundup is a number. It'll be float. So see, learning something every day. Maybe we can look into that. In JavaScript, does it have are all floats already just numbers. These are just a basic number type. All right, let's have a quick look. Basic types. See if that does it. Data type. All right. Data types in JavaScript, general knowledge. Foo is a number, string, boolean, boolean, null, undefined number, string. Okay, cool. Number type. There is only one number type, the double precision 64-bit binary. Alright, so that's a big number type. So there's no specific type for integers. Oh, this is ringing a bell. Alright, so numbers. Numbers are ridiculous and massive. Great, that's good to know. We're going to use math.round to round the number up. Okay, this method either rounds up or down to the nearest integer. Round, fair enough. Math.round to find a second variable named rounded. Okay, var rounded. It references the output of the math.round method. Well, we just go math.round with roundup. Yeah, just math.round roundup, and I'm going to guess there's some console.logging going on here in a second. Jeepers, come on, guys. What's that? Okay, this is weird. Cool computer's so sad. I bet it is. I bet it is. I bet rounded, and that's going to be our the puzzle, isn't it? Tell me this is true. Okay, use console.log to print that number to the terminal. Check to see if your program is correct by running this command. Okay, so what we want to do is just make sure that's written, and then we want to Javascripting verify rounding numbers. And whoop whoop, that should be correct. That number is rounded. You have 12 challenges left. Excellent. So, Javascripting. If at any point this becomes confusing, please leave a comment, because there's nobody watching at the moment. But I think this is a fun test, and I'm betting that the most amount of comments are going to be like, dude, you're going to have to get yourself a microphone, because this audio sucks. Alright, JavaScripting, number to string. Alright, so, yes, the old to string. Let's write and quit out of that. Create a file named, okay, sometimes you need to turn a number into a string. Fair enough. Create a file named number to string. Vine number to string.js. In that file, define a variable named n. Okay. Height 19, and then var n equals, what was var n eating? 128. Okay, and call the toString method on the n variable. Use console.log to print the results of the toString method to the terminal. So we can go jump straight to console.log, and then we just go n toString. You can see that should be. Got some weird screen stuff going on here, but that's fine. I'll fix that later as well. It is odd. Verify number to string. And again, as always, we can go var n equals 128, and then go n dot to, actually, I know, yeah, I just saw the error myself. I bet this didn't work. Function to string, your attempt, you failed, which is awesome because we can do that here, right? We can go number to string, and it goes, oh, wait a minute, that's a function. what we really wanted to do was actually call the toString method on n. And that's a winner. So we can change our little method over here, our solution, and if we run it again this time, I would not be surprised if it was far more happy. Yay! And nothing terribly useful there again, so, oh, no, don't do that. Just find me the history where, breathe, oh my god, it's so slow. There we go. Alright, and we can get out of that. It's weird screen shenanigans. So, if statement. Well, this is more exciting. If you're brand new to JavaScripting, if statement's going to be very funky. 9 of 19. Alright, so are we going to walk through what an actual if statement is? Maybe. Well, let's just quickly go along. So, if statement starts with if. The thing to do a truthy test of. Basically, if this thing is true, do what it says run the code between these parentheses. Or else, the or was for dramatic effect, is just else in JavaScript. Do this thing that is in between those parentheses, but don't do both. For now, that's all you need to know, but basically, is n greater than 1? If it is, console.log blah. Or else, console, no, it's not. Now, of course, making sure that you do the correct thing in each of those code parentheses is a fun trick all by itself, otherwise you reverse your answer. One of the things you'll end up doing fairly regularly, I'm sure. But if we go on to the challenge, let's go create a file named ifstatement.js. Ifstatement.js. In that file, declare a variable named fruit. Alright. First of all, we wait for the computer to open that incredibly difficult text file of openingness. Are we open yet? Fantastic. JavaScripting. Having all sorts of trouble typing that regularly, aren't I? And I think it's 09 of 19. Yas. Alright. And then we're starting a variable named fruit. Make the fruit variable reference the value orange with a type of string. But in that file, declare a variable named fruit. Alright, make the fruit variable reference the value orange. Okay, reference the value orange with the type of string. That is a really obtuse way of saying that. I think that's what they mean. Make the fruit variable reference the value orange with the type of string. Then use console.log to print the fruit name has more than 5 characters if the length of the value of fruit is greater than 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Has 5 characters. If the length of the value of fruit is greater than 5, otherwise print the fruit name has 5 characters or less. Check to see if your program is correct by running this command. Alright, so I think we're going var fruit equals orange, and then we're writing a if fruit is fruit.length is greater than 5. Is it 5? Greater than 5? Okay, is greater than 5, so not greater than or equal to. So if it's greater than 5, we can console.log the fruit name has more than 5 characters, full stop, because it's going to be very specifically particular, I'm going to guess. Else, so we're going to be sneaky with an else if in there, but I'm not going to for now. I'm just going to do console.log the fruit name has 5 characters or less full stop pedantic. So you could put in here an extra conditional if and an else if, or if else. I have to look that up. Hilarious. Like, oh, how do you do an if in JavaScript? Well, every language is a little bit different. So, pretty sure it's, well, it's not LF, that's Python. So, else if, well, let's do that. Let's look up the if. Just do if. I'm sure plenty of people. If else, there we go. Maybe we don't have an if else. If condition else statement 2. Okay, truthy, falsy, multiple else if. There we go. Again, parentheses are optional by the look of it, so that's fun. But, so if we wanted to, we could do a else if, and then the condition, right? Like, so else if, what, fruit dot length is greater than or equal, is less than or equal to 5. That's us being super specific. And in which case, you could then have a final conditional if, else if, and then else as a final. Fair enough. All right, so if fruit.length is greater than 5, say, hey, the fruit's got more than 5 characters, or the name of the fruit. And then you could do else if fruit.length is less than or equal to 5, the fruit name has 5 characters or less, and then else you could, actually you could then just go console.log, we should never get here. Because it's either more than 5 or less than 5, or potentially this is like something that you might put in for error, warning. So let's see, have I made terrible assumptions? Scripting, verify if statement. All right. Have I made terrible assumptions? No, that was fine. You got it. The string orange is more than 5 characters. Get ready to take on for loops next. Ooh. So I'm just kind of cranking through these because they're pretty simple. This is a for loop. Okay, so this is going to be probably a bit more verbose and wordy because it's actually not that complicated once you sort of understand what those 3 for loop. There's going to be proper names and I'm not going to use them, but like a starting condition, a test condition, and then an incrementer, which basically says, here's a temporary variable that you can use as a counter. If the counter is less than something, in this case 10, then run the loop again. And at the end, increment the counter by 1, which is I++. But if you wanted to, you could make that incremented by 10. It doesn't matter. It would just be related to what are you testing for. So in this case, we're going to, I'm probably explaining that terribly. If you're actually learning JavaScript and you're using this as a thing to do it, go immediately to Free Code Camp. Yeah, that's it. Go to Free Code Camp. They're great. Tell them I sent you. Don't. It's fine. Just they do really good. Make really good use of tutorials on the internet and make a bunch of their own. And they have a full pathway for becoming like a front-end JavaScript developer. So you should definitely do that. Yada yada yada, there's a lot of explanations going on there, but what we might do is just jump straight into via for loop.js and JavaScript. There we go, and Javascripting, and we're what, 10 of 19? And in that file, define a variable named total, var total. All right, we have a total equals 0. Okay, second variable, var limit. What does that equal? Equals 10. I don't have that K on the end there, but anyway. And now create a for loop. For with a variable I, var I equals 0. And increasing by 1 each time through the loop, and the loop should run as long as I is less than limit. I is less than limit. And I should increment itself through the loop, and some parentheses, and then on each iteration of the loop, add the number I to the total variable. So the easiest way to do that is to go total plus equals, what was it, number I to the total? I. There you go. So the total is going to equal itself plus whatever I is equaling. So we can do this in our heads as well, which is quite useful when you're trying to debug. But the other thing you can do is you can write this all into the Node. You could do a couple of things actually. You could write a little function that was reusable, and then you could test it with a couple of different things, or you could just verbatim write it out exactly as it is there, and then run it and get your total that way. But I think for now this is fairly simple. So we're just going to start with our count, which is 0, and we've got a total, we've got the limit. Limit's being used to say as long as I is less than 10. Keep running, but until then stop, and yeah, I think that should be fine. After it's finished, because JavaScript goes line by line by line, we should then be able to go console.log and total, which is what it's asking us to do. With after the loop, use console to print the total variable to the terminal, check to see if the program is correct. Well, that should be just about fine. And JavaScripting, scripting. Wow, it's terrible. JavaScripting. Okay, that's classy. Verify. And what's that last one? For loop. The lag on this is unbearable. I'm not sure how long I can do that for. I have to fix this whole thing. Alright, groovy. Official solution is not printed, so again, that's broken. Basic introduction for loops, which are handy in a number of situations, yada yada yada. Sort of, if you have to. There are better ways of doing it. But yes, JavaScripting. Let's find out our next challenge. Arrays. Alright. So, get rid of this, and we're going to learn what an array is. So that's just delightful. Let's have a look. An array is a list of values. Okay? Create a file named arrays.js. Right. Arrays.js. In that file, define a variable named pizza toppings. Well, that's cool. Pizza toppings, plural. Oh, hang on a second. What are we doing? It references an array. Okay. That contains 3 strings in this order. Alright. So, tomato sauce. And so we're making sure we put them in parentheses, and then parentheses, quotes, and cheese, and commas to delineate, and pepperoni. Alright. And, okay, then we can console.log the pizza toppings, and then test. Javascripting. My brain went away for a second. Verify arrays. And it's thinking about it. Yay, a pizza array. You successfully created an array. Fantastic. So now we want the next one because that's pretty darn simple. And array filtering. All right. Excellent. So we're going to get some for eaching, are we? Or just some filtering. How are we going to do our filters? We're just filtering. Fair enough. All right. Char. We want to, many ways to manipulate arrays. Common task is filtering arrays to only contain certain values. So we're going to filter some stuff out. And what's our actual, the challenge? Here we go. So let's array filtering.js. And in that file, define a variable named numbers. 12 of 19. And what was it? Numbers equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The other 7. The other 8 and the 9, oh, and 10. Okay. And then, like above, define a variable named filtered. Filtered that references the results of numbers.filter. Okay. And the function you pass to the filter method will look something like this. Function even numbers number, return number, modulus 2 equals 0, use console.log to print the filtered array. So that's actually kind of cool. We're going to need a little function. So we can either do it as an anonymous function, or we can make a named function and then pop that in there. So why not, let's make this simple. So we're going to go var filtered equals numbers.filter, and then function, and sure, you can call it number, you can call it each, you can call it whatever, because that variable is only going to be used inside the anonymous function. So we're going to make a function, and it's going to take a thing. And because filter is expecting a function inside it that takes a thing, we just need the one. It's already defined for us. We can look it up in a second. But numbers.filter, function each, and then for each number, we basically have a test condition. So you can see in this one where it says return number modulus 2 is equal to 0. Well, what are we trying to do? What do we need? The function, yada, yada, yada. Variable name references the array, like above, define a variable name filtered, references the result of numbers.filter. The function that you pass the filter method will look something like this. Okay, so something like, so it's even numbers. So we just, yeah, fine, we'll do that. Return, it's like there's something like, but it doesn't actually say filter all of the odd numbers out, or only retain the even numbers or something. It could be a little bit more explicit, but whatever. So return each modulus 2 equals 0. So if it's divisible by 2, it's an even number, and there will be no modulus left over. Modulus is the remainder of a division. So if you did 10 modulus 5, 5 goes into 10 equally, and there's no left over. So that would equal 0. So 10 modulus 5 is great. 10 modulus 2 also works because 10 is an even number. I think that's enough talking for now, because that is fine. Var filtered, and then part of the rest of the puzzle was console.log filtered, I think, which will then just print out the array at the end. Cool. Javascripting. I didn't want that, did I? Let's just, oh, Q exits it. That's handy. Verify. Oh, hang on. Seems like I killed my terminal. Javascripting. Verify array filtering. See what happens. Okay, so again, no official solution. Yay, you win, but there's no actual showing you the final array. So you could go boop, and then go is this, that's not going to work, is it? Okay, let's undo that for a second. Can we do this? No, it's not going to be very friendly at this juncture, is it? Alright, so we could type it all out. Oh, you know what else we could do? We could run it. I think we might even be able to run. Instead of verify, it has another command called run. Maybe we'll get some command line. There we go. So, rather than just verifying against their test script, we're actually running the code that's in that file, and it's doing it, and then just outputting the results to standard output. That doesn't always work because some of these puzzles that you do in different ones, some of these workshops will actually run a test suite that provides you with dummy data, and of course if you just run the file, you're not giving it any dummy data, but you can comment in some dummy data of your own if you get one of those kind of puzzles. That's a thing that I've seen happen quite a few times. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, that's wonderful. Oh, no, we don't want that. We just wanted the JavaScripting again. And now accessing array variables. Values? Variables. What did I say? Variables. I think it was accessing array values. Yeah, accessing array values, 13 of 19. Alright, so let's get rid of this one. And array elements can be accessed through index number. Always counting from 0, which is fairly standard. And dot notation is invalid. It is indeed. Alright, what's the challenge? By accessing array values, fine, but that's far too long. Accessing array values.js, fine. JavaScripting, and 11 of 13, something like that. Let's have a quick squeeze. No, 11 of 19. 13 of 19. Nothing like it. Awesome. This whole live streaming thing is way harder than I thought it might be. It's good fun. Slow computer is killing me though, because everything I do has this huge lag. Alright, what do you want from me here? Create a file. Got it. In that file, define array food. Alright, var food equals apple and pizza and pear. Alright. Use console.log to print the second value. Oh, wow, okay, that's tough. Console.log, and then we get food, second value. Oh, tricky. Second value, starting at 0, is apple, and 1 is pizza, but it's still the second value, so we're going to go food 1. Alright, and then, just get over there. Jesus, JavaScripting, verify accessing stupid long name, and oh my god, second element of array printed with no solution. That's so stupid. Alright, Fine. And JavaScripting again. We're getting there. We're going to complete this one next. Looping through arrays. Ooh, that sounds exciting. All right, what do we got? We're going to use some of our for loop magic. For this challenge, we use a for loop. Oh, yeah. In the challenge, let's go straight to the challenge. Go via looping through arrays dot stupidly long name. Oh my god. JavaScripting 14 of 19. FSM Flying Spaghetti Monster. Start trying to figure out a smart way of saying that rather than God. I think that would be appropriate. Right, what are we doing? Create a file named Looping Through Arrays. In that file, define a variable named pets. All right, var pets equals cat, dog, rat. Okay, create a for loop. All right, for what? For loop that changes each string in the array so that they are plural. Okay, so we're going to add strings together in there. But we want to do for var I equals 0, I is less than pets dot length, and I plus plus, because basically, well, let's have a look here. Let's have a look at our array. All right, so var array equals, no, well, it's numbers. What's numbers is still alive, isn't it? Numbers, cool. Numbers dot, oh look, there's many things that we can do with numbers. And actually, if you want to make this more visible, no, hang on. Let's put it over on the side here for a second. Oh no, yeah, over here. So we have a little bunch of stuff. Is length one of them? Oh, it is, and we don't even need to call it as a method. It's just a property. I think that's the right word. So numbers dot length. Numbers. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 10 items, so we get numbers dot length. So that's kind of useful. So if we want to put that back now and leave it on there, and then move back up here, we can see that pets dot length is probably going to be 0, 1, 2, which is going to be 3 items. So our counter is set to 0. We increment at the end, and on the inside, what are we going to do? That's right, for each thing we were going to add s to the end of it. But we already have that array. So, like it says in the example, let's go pets I, so when we start out with var I equals 0, remember the increment doesn't happen until the end of the loop. So at the moment, var I is in fact 0. That's my stupid touchpad thingy. Alright, so pets I equals, hang on a second, alright, equals pets I, so it's going to be pets I is cat, right, because I is going to be 0, so pet 0 is cat, so pets I plus s plus s, which is the magic of JavaScript. You can just add strings together, and it seems to be cool with that. And that's it. We're just pluralizing all of the end of them, and then of course it wants it to console.log. What? Hang on, not a string, pets, because it's a variable. Is that correct? That's all we want to do. Cool. Write it and test it. JavaScripting. Verify. Looping through long names. And success, lots of pets. Again, if we want to, we can check that out ourselves by run looping through arrays, because it has all of the information it needs encapsulated into the single file, and we can see cats, dogs, rats, and the type of object it is. So now we can go back to the menu. We can have a look at our next objects, which could be exciting. Now, objects are different to arrays. Objects give us almost like a key value store. So it's going to tell us things. Objects are lists of values similar to arrays, except values are identified by keys instead of integers. Here's an example. Variable food preferences, and you can tell it's an object because it has the squiggly brace. And pizza, colon, yum, comma, I'm up here. Yeah, there we go. Salad, colon, gross, no comma at the end. End object. So we have two values in there and two keys. So pizza is yummy and salad is gross. So our challenge is vi objects.js. In that file, find a variable named pizza. All right, so first, Javascripting. Oh, come on. There we go, Javascripting, 15 of 19. And then the var pizza equals. Okay, so basically it's just saying do this. Cool. Toppings and cheese and sauce and pepperoni. I'm guessing an American person put this one together. Rust, deep dish. All right, and so it's 2. You can see there's an integer, sorry, a number in there. So we've got strings and numbers and arrays. So we've got toppings is actually equal to an array. Crust is a string and serves is a number. And then console.log and pizza. So that's not actually very exciting again. I'm a bit disappointed there. We could have probably done a bit more, but I'm sure the next step will be just as interesting and more interesting. Scripting. Let's go run objects. And there's our object. But if we want to pass, we want to verify objects.js. And then pizza object is go. Excellent. So we just want to go back to our JavaScripting menu and object properties. Let's have a look here. What's this? I am tempted to go straight to the challenge and not even read what they want to say about it because I don't really feel like this is the first thing we'd get somebody who'd never programmed to do. But, you know, who am I? Vi object properties.js. In that file, find a pizza thingy. JavaScripting. You should think I'd be able to type this by now, wouldn't you? And remember what number it's up to. 16 of 19. 16 of 19. And in that file, to find a variable named food, var food equals. And oh yeah, if we're going to be assigning stuff, it could be good to have a quick look at that. Only pizza. And that's it. Okay, put the types property of the food object to the terminal. Or not. Let's just go console.log food.types. And then object properties. And am I close? Oh, explode of awesomeness. What happened there? Oh, console.loy. Okay. Correct, pizza is the only food. Alright, so what do? We actually just had food object, and we used the key of types, and we called it in what's called dot notation. So we went print out the food.types, and it would say only pizza, and we can verify that by going run, and it should just say only pizza, because the value There you go, only pizza. The value was only pizza. Now we're going to do something more interesting. Functions. Oh, nice. I do like a good function. I am going to cheat as well because let's not read what's going on. Let's just go straight for the make a functions.js and define a function named eat. All right. Okay. Well, we're going to 17 of 19. Fair enough. Okay. Oh. 17 of 19. And what are we doing? In that food, define a function named eat. Eat equals function stuff things. Alright, argument named food. Great. Alright, food. That is expected to be a string. Alright. Okay. Well, if we go if type of food is not equal to string. I don't know if this is going to work. This is probably the worst possible way. Are you killing me? Do thing. Do it. Do it. Alright. I know what I could do is just throw error. See if that works. I don't know if that's going to work. But insert the function return the food argument like this. Alright. Food plus taste really good. It's either percentage or share. Alright. Okay. I think I've got what's going on here. This is just a console.log, our magical eat function, and you can then throw whatever you want at it, and it's going to taste really good. Javascripting, verify functions. Hopefully I've got this horribly wrong because I'm not sure if the if type string throw error. Excellent. Alright, so I still, because I don't think we've made an error type. Yeah, I don't think we've got an error type in there, so I'm just going to get rid of that. Let's just keep this simple. What is going on here? Undefined. Bananas taste really good. Your attempt, undefined. Okay, so food, return food plus taste really good. So food. Okay, so let's go Javascripting. Print. Because now we can go back and actually read and see what do we do. Function block code. Function takes an argument. We're meant to put something in eat. So for the eat function with the string bananas as the argument because I'm an idiot. Idiot as a string. Bananas. Alright, so now that we've got bananas, that makes more sense. That function didn't have anything to do. No. Try the other one. Wow, it's so incredibly slow. It's just really not my favorite. So, okay, bananas. Bananas taste really good. Check the solution. Oh, full stop. Apparently we needed, see, I did mention some of the pedantic solutions You must be correct. Did we get it? Woo bananas. Okay, so that's all fine and dandy. We can go back to JavaScripting and function arguments. Okay. What is the puzzle? First arg, second arg, console.log, first and second, hello world, example. Okay, so it's a function that takes multiple arguments. That's fairly easy. Let's have a look at that. By function arguments, right, JS. Define a function named math. Alright, fair enough. I think we're 18 of 19. Alright. Function arguments, it takes function arguments. 18 of 19. And var math, yep, equals function, and what they're called, 3 arguments. Important for you to understand that arguments names are only used to reference them. Name each argument as you like. 1, 2, 3. Right. Alright, and in the function, what's it going to do? Within the math function, return the value obtained by multiplying the second and third arguments and adding that result to the first argument. So, we could go return 2 times 3 plus 1. After that, inside the parentheses, call math function with the number 53 as the first, 61 as the second, 62 as the third. Fair enough. We can do that. Console.log 53, 61, and 67. Alright, and let's JavaScripting verify function arguments. What did we screw up? Solution 4140. Your attempt 53, 61, 67. Return. That's interesting. Okay. Cool, so they haven't actually done a mathematical operator on it. So let's do this for a second. Let's go var 1 equals 53, var 2 equals 61. Now if you're sitting here going, you idiot, how do you not know what this is? It's actually kind of good exercise to go through. So if you're going to go 1, let's just do 1 times 2. Okay. So what about if we do 1 times 2 plus 3? 3,300. Oh no, it was 2 times 3 plus 1. 4140. So it's returned the 3 numbers. That's weird. What about if we just var result equals and then return results, and we can figure out why it's not doing it properly in a second. Dang. Oh my god, just get out. This seems frustrating. It is. It's not me. It's the screencast is actually slowing everything down to the point of being almost completely useless. Do the thing. Alright. Your attempt and the solution. Oh, kill me now. Kill me now. Math. Why is my result just numbers? Seriously. Why is it just numbers? Oh, it's because you're an idiot. So we can get rid of this. We can go back to, no, we'll just do what we had before. Now we're actually calling a function on something as opposed to just spinning out numbers. Seriously, just you're not on that side, you're over here. Alright. Great. You're in control of your arguments, so that's fantastic. Alright, let's do this last one. And that'll be it. Scope. Okay, so we have functions within functions within functions within functions within. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of functions. Scope is a set of variables, objects, and functions you have access to. Two scopes, global and local. Yada yada yada. Okay, this is all probably very useful, but let's just actually have a look at the challenge. Create a file named scope. Revise scope.js. Shall we type all this out? Probably not necessary, but let's do it anyway. 19 of 19. Okay. 19. Okay, let's type. Var A equals 1, B equals 2, and C equals 3. Then why they're putting that function? Oh, okay. All right. Okay, this is interesting. So function first. Function var B equals 5, C equals 6. I'm sure this is going to be easier once I've actually taken a proper look at it, but if you don't know how to program, why would you make somebody do this? Don't quite understand that, but fine, we're doing it. Function, third function. Wow, that lag is really something special. A equals 7, C equals 9. Yay. And another function, which is going to be the fourth function. Var A equals 1, C equals 8, and alright, so use your knowledge of the variable scope and place the following code inside one of the functions in scope.js so the output is A1B8C6. Alright, check to see if you program by running this command. Fair enough. Console.log A plus A plus B plus B plus C plus C. So that's actually string concatenation. That looks a bit string concatenation-y to me. So it's saying that find where A is actually equal to 1, B is actually equal to 2, and C is equal to 6 inside this function here. Okay, well that's kind of interesting, so let's make a bit more room here. Alright, so, well, C isn't equal to 6 at all until there, so that's a good start. And B being equal to 8 isn't until here, so that's a good start. And A being equal to 1, well, A is equal to 1, and from there it goes all a bit pear-shaped. So I would guess that if var B equals 8, so at this juncture, first function, second function, third function, fourth function, those inner functions haven't had a chance to get their evil hands on our other variables yet. So I reckon we could console A, B, and C are 1, 8, and 6. 1, because A hasn't been changed since then. B gets turned to 5, B gets turned to 8 there, so that's solid. And C is already 6, so I reckon that's a winner. And then we can, let's just scope. Oh, did I save it? I hope I saved it. Oh, hello. 3 is not a function. Type 3 is not a function. Exploding. And failed. No JavaScripting. On 5. Yeah, okay. So, that is not a function. I've got a feeling that we're going to need to change this a little bit. See how this goes. I'm just going by gut feel here, as I think there's far too many parentheses, and I think that that's causing a problem, and I could be completely wrong, but let's find out. Unless it needs to call them. No, what? Wait, what? Solution, A1, B8, C6, and A1, B8, C6, difference. Your attempt, hang on, oops, something isn't wrong, but don't panic. Check your solution, A:1, B:8, C: 6. So apparently it's correct, but it's not correct. How does that work? What do you want from me? Okay, so that's stupid. Let's see if this works. This will be an interesting thing. So, solution. Is that a thing? Is that an option that we have? JavaScript solution? Apparently not. Okay. I don't know, but I think that's a winner enough for me. If you can figure out why that's not working, and I'm sure it probably got to do with all of the braces, I'm happy to take advice on that. But other than that, I think that is the live stream for now. So I can go get more coffee. Scope. All right, and maybe I'll leave some notes on why that didn't work and some links or something as well, which might be handy. Okay, until next time. This has been, I don't know, a fairly fun and interesting way of teaching myself how to do some live streaming of programming stuff. So yeah, thank you all for watching the live stream for today, and cheerio.